Will Orekit evolve into a different kind of application over time as data and usage goes up? You know, we're going to have more and more launches, more and more satellites, more and more data. Has anything unexpected come up as the program has grown?
I think the Orekit ecosystem will evolve, but Orekit by itself, the focus and the domain, the coverage of Orekit will probably remain slightly the same. It is already, I think, good enough, but Orekit is not intended to be a complete system for everyone, and it's not an SDK, it's not something like that where you can put it and you have already everything. It is a building block for other people to build their own drone system. So this coverage is probably good. However, on top of Orekit, you can add more application or different type of application. Already, a lot of users are adding their own system around Orekit, and we have added Rugged for the imagery. We have some mobile application for various purposes. Also, CS has just launched recently Orekit as a service, which allows people just to connect to a web service with a REST API or with a browser if they want, to do orbit determination, prediction, and so this kind of application, web application, full flight dynamic system in a control center, mobile application, this will appear. New system like this will probably appear, but the Orekit part will probably remain just the library, the core library that is used and is reliable and used by a lot of people who share this layer, this layer.
Right. And yes, and I should remind people, go to orekit.org and read on the front page who is using this thing, because governments and large organizations are using it, educational institutions. It has been well adopted. So you have an open governance model. What does that mean?
So this governance model was inspired mainly by the Apache Foundation. I came from the Apache Foundation. I am a member of the Apache Foundation. And this kind of governance model says that people come into the project at the beginning just as user, and we don't know them. Then they become contributor because they contribute to the forum, they ask questions or they answer questions. And as you get more involved into the project, you get more merit, you gain merit from the project, and the peers the project accept you and your contribution, and you gain this merit, and you gain power with this merit. And at the end, you get the next level after contributor is committer, so you gain right access to the Git repository, and you can develop and push your own code directly before it is reviewed. It will be reviewed after the commit by the peers, and the next step will be a project manager committee. So we have a project management committee, and the PMC members are the people who decide about release or decide about new committers or decide about the roadmap of the project. Currently, the project management committee has, if I remember well, 11 people from various parts, from the European Space Agency, from Naval Research Laboratory, from Airbus, from Thales Alenia Space, from universities in France and in the US, from Swedish Space Corporation, and CS, of course, is also a member of the PMC. So we have the governance is not limited to one company, even if the one company that created it at first has an important role. We are not the only one. It is really open, an open governance with people who can decide. We are not the only one, and the governance is shared among all these entities. And it is good.
Yes. So that gives us an idea of how work is figured out and whatnot. Have you ever had to say, or has the project management committee ever had to say, no, we don't want to go in that direction, or we don't want to develop that kind of capability?
There was one time.
More engineers are not going to solve your problem. It's not a technical problem in that sense. It's a process problem. And the time to fix your processes was 20 months ago, and the second best time is today. This is Jason Kanigan, the president of Cold Star Technologies and the host of this podcast, the Cold Star Project, which is all about identifying and solving process problems for space companies, because that's what we do. And you can hear the entirety of this episode by following the link in the comment below.